Okay, so now let's dive into the difference between the higher self and the subconscious mind. So, your higher self, or some people call it the oversoul, is that part of you that remains in the spiritual world when you reincarnate into these physical bodies. So, a small part of the puzzle here, it splits into a small part and it illuminates this body. The higher self, which is your oversoul, is basically made up of light. It is a light body. That's why some people call the soul a light body, because it is made up of spiritual light, by the way, you guys, not electrical. And then we have your subconscious mind here in the middle, where all the memories, so this is part of your subtle body. And then you have your conscious mind here, which we are constantly using right now. And then the smallest part of our being right now is this body, right? That we are in, these physical bodies that we're in, which we have reincarnated in. So your higher self is basically what is illuminating, animating this part. It's basically animating everything, and without your higher self, this would not exist. That's why it is the biggest part of you. And the difference between, so the higher self would be that part of you that is always giving you bliss, that is always giving you that knowledge, that happiness that you feel from within. It's coming from your higher self. The guidance that you feel that says, when you're feeling sad, that tells you just take a walk, and you take a walk. Or sometimes when you're even doing something that says, wait, stop here, and then you stop here and then you meet somebody. That serendipity that happens in life, it is orchestrated by the higher self. The higher self is basically the architect. Remember in the Matrix, there was that character called the architect in the Matrix, and he was basically controlling the Matrix. And do you remember everything on the screen that was happening, and he was controlling everything? That is the higher self. The higher self is doing all of that. That job basically belongs to the higher self. Your higher self has chosen this experience, has chosen whether it wants to experience poverty, wealth, beauty, fame, all of these opulences that you can think of. The higher self has already made that choice because it wants to experience certain things. It is the architect, basically. That everything that is divine that happens in your life, and all the hard lessons that you have to learn, they're all coming from the higher self. And then what happens is, when we pass away, that part of you, the spirit that has split from the higher self, basically goes back to the higher self, and we become one, part of source energy, and everything returns back to normal.